Welcome back to the Carpentry Australia podcast. I'm here today with Mr. Joseph Canavan. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep, so Joseph Canavan, Director of Canavan Constructions. Carpenter for 8 years now, coming up to 8 years. Background pretty much mainly in residential construction. Started out with a company just doing small stuff, so like small bits of bathrooms, renovations here and there. And then went on a decent sized Euro trip when I was in mid-2015, 2016, and I sort of had a realisation. I was like, I want to be able to come out and say, I want to have a complete understanding of all aspects of carpentry, like, start to finish, and I knew I wasn't able to get that where I was. So left and then was with that builder for 6 years. It was Carbonlight, and really shaped the way that I think it shifted the way that I saw, like, from just like being a carpenter, like really like trying to master the craft of like carpentry and like taking like heaps of pride in like the way that you show up, like the way that you dress, the way that you talk, like everything was like a well-rounded like piece of art, so to speak, like the way that you present and the work that you do is all like bundled together. Yeah.
Where does that thinking come from? Like where, because there's not a lot of chippies out there that think that way and sort of have such a high level, expectation of the trade and themselves and sort of put it into all aspects. Where did you have that?
It was definitely my second boss, Burkhard, from Carbonlight. He's German trained carpenter, so I was always under like European trained carpenters essentially. They're always walking around like, pants, like have you seen the German like carpenter pants?
No.
They're like it's like a full uniform, so they've got like the vest and stuff, but he didn't make me wear that, luckily. But that's all like pants tucked in, like if you were on site, like in the morning you would call it like hand out of your pockets, like hood down, like it was just like drilled into me from the start. It was just like like don't like just like yawn or stuff in front of clients and stuff. He's like, you need to be like present, like if you're yawning, like I'd be tired, but you're not like in someone's face. It's like it's a bit like insulting.
Yeah, of course.
I think he drilled that into me, and then it sort of made me like have a greater appreciation for like the small things. And like I've had like conversations with people like, oh, I don't think it's that. And like I know guys who don't take it that seriously, and they're a better carpenter than me. They've been in it for longer, but I don't think that makes a difference to me. Like I think I can still put the same effort into all these small things that add up, and clients see the difference. And you can't convince me otherwise that clients don't look at someone differently to when you come up and you've got your clean clothes, you've got your guys aren't like swearing on site or this sort of thing. And the comparison is just I feel like it just brings a different level of pride to the work that you do. But long story short, from my boss, and I think it just sort of grew from there. And just, I don't know, even like I watch a lot of stuff online, like I learn, like I basically use Instagram and like YouTube as like a tool to learn and just look at like all these other guys on there. I'm like, all right, this is what these guys are doing. I can implement this, I can do this. And I love like Japanese carpentry, like all the traditional carpentry, and like the way that they like, watch like a documentary on it, and they turn up like, 2 hours before, and they're like in the workshops and they're like sharpening their chisels and like fine-tuning their planes, and everything just set out, and it's a process instead of just like throwing everything in the back of the ute and be like, chuck it in, like,
There's a different sense of sort of pride and professionalism, and it's really is an artwork that gets, I guess, taken for granted as well.
100%.
So you're obviously, I think one of the main things that I guess stands out, from talking to a bunch of members and talking to yourself, is that I've always seen that level of craftsmanship from you, and I think you've always had that level of your attention to detail there's not many people out there that have that, and some of the ones that do, they're obviously extremely valued in the industry, is having that kind of attention to detail.